When calculating percentages, it is important to stick to the conversions between percentages to fractions or percentages to decimals. Now, take for example, calculating 20% of 600. So you want to start first by understanding that 20% means 20 out of 100. So first, that is a fraction for it. Now, this word of in math translates as multiplication. The word of means multiply. So whatever you get here, multiply that by 600. Okay, you could get calculators into it, or you could simplify without a calculator. If you are simplifying without a calculator, then this is where you go. You might want to go ahead and say this is the same as 20 times 600, and then you divide that by 100. But then 100, there are 6 of them in 600. So 100 can divide 100 one time and divide 600 6 times. So that if you're going without a calculator, 20% of 600 becomes 6 times 2, 120. Okay? Remember, don't put the percent symbol here again, because 20% of 600 is a fraction of 600, and that fraction of 600 is 120. Okay, so 120 out of 600 is 20% of it. So if you were using a calculator, then you might want to go down where this becomes a decimal, 0.2. Okay, 20 divided by 100 becomes 0.2, and you use your calculator to do 0.2 times 600, and then you still get 120. So that is how to calculate the percentage of a number. What percentage of 250 is 50? Okay, so this is one of those questions where you can use the percent equation to solve. This is one of those questions where the percent equation can be used to find what percentage of 250 is 50. We have learned that a percentage is part of 100, and 50 is part of 250. So it's a fraction. It's a fraction thing here. Let's compare the fractions. So what we're saying here is that 50 out of 250 is the same as a certain number out of 100. That is what we're looking at. Okay, so it's the same number, is a certain number out of 100. You could do the cross multiply. So this is how we cross multiply. You have 50 fraction by 250 is the same as a certain number fraction by 100. So cross multiply means you do a diagonal multiplication like that. So you get 50 times 100 should equal 250 times x, so that you have 5,000, which is 50 times 100, is equal to 250x. And to find that x, you can rewrite this as 250x is equal to 5,000. To find what that x equals, you divide 5,000 by 250. So 5,000 divided by 250, that will give you the percentage. That percentage is 20%. Okay. Another way, if you are not cross multiplying, you can get a common denominator on each side. Okay, remember, we can simplify this fraction of 50 over 250 by dividing by 50, right? If we divide by 50, divide by 50 and divide by 50, then you get 1 over 5. Okay, there are 5 5s in 25. You get 1 over 5 equals x over 100. So now you're thinking about 100 divided by 5 is 20. So what would you multiply 5 by to get 100? So you can go ahead and say times 20 times 20, and now you have 20 out of 100 is equal to x out of 100. Now you know what this is. Okay, so 50 out of 250, the x is 20 right here. Because these denominators are the same, the numerators are also the same. Okay, so that x is 20%, and you could use any of those strategies to get it.